Yo, what's good guys? It's Happy Snail here. Today I have a K Shami facial analysis, but there's something very special about this video. I'm using FaceIQ Labs for this video, which is a new tool released by my friend, FaceIQ, known him for a few years. It's a very efficient tool, much more efficient than the typical format you see in my other videos where I hand measure people's faces. This thing just does it automatically. So yeah, let's get into it. I assume that K Shami is going to score around like a 7 to an 8 maybe. His front is going to score pretty good. You got a 6.5 on the side. Let's unlock and see where K Shami stands. 7.4 overall. Not bad, not bad. He has an 8.04 out of 10, so 8 out of 10 front profile, and a 6.4 out of 10 side. Keep in mind, though, this side profile image is pretty bad. As you can see his other brow, so it tells you it's not a true side profile. It's pretty cropped out, and yeah, it's not a really reliable picture for measuring, but we still have a pretty good idea. As you can see, he didn't get a horrible score, so it means that some things are right here. So yeah, let's just go check out his front profile and see where he stands with certain ratios. I don't really give a shit about the ear measurements or anything, but yeah, for the jaw frontal angle, which, by the way, guys, FaceIQ Labs is really, like, dope. It has the value right here, the ideal range, the score. It has the distribution of where you fall in the score. It has what flaws this may indicate. I had to go through so much work before when I was manually measuring faces to find any of this stuff. So, yeah, it being all right in front of me right here is amazing. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, his jaw frontal angle, about 78 degrees, is a bit too acute. You want it to be more obtuse, more open, so it's a bit flatter. This would make his skull look a bit more wider, dominant, more dimorphic. So, yeah, that's his first flaw. Not too horrible, but it's not too good either. Well, so for his one eye apart test, his eyes are 1.07 eyes apart, which is only a slight flaw. You typically want it to be from 0.9 to 1 eye apart. As you can see on the bell curve distribution here, he just falls right outside of the ideal range. So yeah, his eyes are maybe a bit too small physically, but it's not too big of a deal. Next for his ipsilateral alar angle, which is similar to the jaw frontal angle, but it's measured from the alar base to the lateral canthus. He gets about 80.6 degrees, which as you can see is lower, about 4 degrees below the ideal range of 84 to 95. Which may indicate a log mid-face, as you can see over here. And it just doesn't harmonize too well with his jaw frontal angle, which you'll see in a second. Next is going to be his lower third proportion, which is about 29.96%, just out of the ideal of 30 to 34%. This means that his lower third is dominated too much by his lower lip and his chin. So we could just say his lower third is dominated too much by his chin. So yeah, that's quite a flaw right there, but it's not too big of a deal actually. As you can see, he only lost just like 2 points basically practically off of it, and his chin looks pretty good, so I'm not gonna go over that too much. His mid-face ratio, so mid-face ratio is checking if the distance between your pupils and the height of your mid-face are the same and for him the distance between his pupils is 0.9 times longer than the height from his lips to his pupils. So yeah, typically one needs to be the same line, which would make a mid-face ratio 1 to 1, but his is 0.9 to 1, which indicates a slightly long mid-face. If his eyes were farther apart, which I'm not saying they should be, this would make his mid-face closer to 1. Next is going to be his facial width to height ratio, which is where you measure the width of someone's cheekbones and you divide it by the height of their midface. Typically it wants to be from 1.9 to 2 approximately, but his is 1.8, which makes for a bit of a narrower middle section of your face. You want it to be a bit more compact and dominant, which is what a 1.9 to 2.06 measurement would entail. Next is going to be I don't care about nose tip position. Next to me, middle third. Middle third, not too bad. I guess you could take some of the middle third and add it to the upper third. It'd be a bit better like that. But as you can see, he doesn't fall too far to the distribution. Next, neck width, you want it to be from 90 to 100. His is 88.66. Not a big flaw, again, but could be better. Maybe he's leaning his head a bit forward here. Who knows? Maybe. Deviation. It's not a huge deviation. 0 to 2.5 is the ideal for the deviation of ipsilateral alar angle and your jaw frontal angle. His is 2.7, so it's not a crazy deviation, but it's not ideal, as you can see. Not horrible, though. They look pretty similar, the angles. Next, your total facial width ratio, which is the height of your face divided by the width of it. And you typically want your face to be 1.33 to 1.38 times longer than it is wide, but for K Shami, it's 1.33, which is ideal. On the lower end of the ideal, but anywhere from 1.3 to 1.4 usually looks fine or acceptable. So yeah, his is in the really good range. I don't even know why he got marked down, but yeah, I guess so. By temporal width, his is 84%, which means the width of his like forehead or temples is 84% the width of his cheekbones. You want it to be from actually 84 to 95, but his is just below. So not really a flaw at all, to be honest, so we don't have to really go over it. Top third, good. Lower third is good. His lower third is nice and dominant, as it should be. Bigonial width, his jaw is 91% the width of his cheekbones. You want it to be from 86.5 to 92. Eye separation ratio is good. You would typically want it to be from 45 to 47.5. He has it at exactly 45, so yeah, it's great. His eyes are 45. Her pupils are 45% the width of his face. Perfectly in the ideal range. Next, mouth to nose width ratio. His mouth is 1.4 times wider than his nose, which is a perfectly ideal range of 1.38 to 1.53. Really good. Very balanced. Chin to philtrum. You want your chin to be 2 to 2.5 times longer than your philtrum. His is 2.25, which is literally in the perfect range, right in the middle. So yeah, good for him for that. Really good. Lateral canthal tilt and is 6 degrees, so he has a canthal tilt of about an average of 6 degrees, which is pretty good. You want this to be from usually 5.5 to 8.2. Could be higher for more aesthetics, but not bad at all. Lower lip to upper lip ratio of 1.52 is in the ideal range of 1.4 to 2. Eyebrow low settedness. His eyebrows are perfectly low set, as you can see. Perfectly in the middle here. Very good. Eye aspect ratio. So this is measuring the size or how compact your eye shape is. And you want your eyes to be 2.8 to 3.6 times wider than they are tall. And for him, it's 2.9 on this one eye. And then on his other eye, it's 3.07x. So that's actually pretty good. So yeah, really good. Now for his eyebrow tilt, it's 11 degrees approximately. And 11 degrees is pretty much what most people have. Not everybody has 11 degrees, of course. There's deviation to this type of stuff, obviously. But 11 degrees is the most average measurement for this. So yeah, ideal. Next is going to be cheekbone height, which is basically measuring how high set your cheekbones are in comparison to your mid-face. So the widest point in K Shami's face is 87% the height of his mid-face, which means that they're high set. Anything above 81% is high set. Yep, 81 to 100% is ideal. Very, very surprising. 7.4 total, but his side profile scored an individual score of 80. So yeah, 80% side harmony. That means you only have a couple flaws. I mean, you're harmonious, blood. What can I say, blood? Harmonious AF. All right, for K Shami's side, now we start at submental cervical angle. Pretty bad picture, I'd say, but still, you can see that he has like a chicken gizzard for a submental over here. So yeah, it's messing him up with this right here. Brow ridge inclination angle. It's a bit too steep, actually. Yeah, it is steep. It could be a bit more inclined, but also I think I measured it pretty poorly, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Nasofacial angle. His nose could just be a little bit more protruded, like this. His nose bridge could be a little bit more back, and then his nose could be a little bit more outward. Or his chin could be more back, but I would see his nose being more outward better, because then it would also improve his nasolabial. Next is going to be his gonial angle. It's 128 degrees. He typically wants to be from 113 to 123. So yeah, this is about 5 degrees outside the ideal range. Not crazy, but his jaw is steep. I mean, the angle is far too obtuse. You typically would want it to be like this more, or like this more, you know? Yeah, so too steep. Hold the way H-line. His lips just protrude a little bit too much. Not a huge deal. Nasomental angle. This is basically just like a convexity measurement, but for the nose protrusion and relative to the side profile. Honestly, if his nose was a little bit more pushed outward here, maybe it's because of the angle not being full side profile because you can see his other brow. But it could be a bit because of the photo. But yeah, his nose could be a bit more protrusive in that image. Nasal tip angle. Yeah, just 2 degrees outside the ideal range. Just too obtuse. It could be a little bit more acute. And yeah, you could see that. If his nose was just a little bit more acute on the tip, it'd look a little nicer. A bit too rounded. Next to me is lower birthstone line. Passes this pretty well. You want your lips to be like this, a couple millimeters ahead. Not too bad. Shows perfect protrusion of the lips. Next, nasofrontal angle. This is measuring the acuteness or obtuseness of this. And you typically want to be from 114 to 131. I mean, basically, this is basically 114. It's on the more acute end here because of the angle of the photo. I would probably say it's more obtuse in real good photos, but yeah, it's still probably in the ideal range, so I'll give it to him. Facial convexity, so just measuring how convex or flat the profile is and relative to the glabella, which is right over here. He gets a really good score on that. Facial convexity nasion, he gets a really good score on that. It's convexity or flatness of the face in relative to nasion, really good. Total facial convexity, very, very good as well. His profile is not too flat, not too convex, very good. He scores really good on the convexity measurements, as you can see. He has good convexity. Nasal projection is pretty good. Nasal width height ratio, great. He has a good nose aesthetically. The shape could just be nicer. I mean, sorry, he has a good nose mathematically, but it could be more aesthetic, actually. He passes all the other lip assessments really, really well. Yeah. Upper lip birthstone line, mandibular plane angle, ramus to mandible. He passes this pretty well. Orbital vector, positive, yep. Frankfurt tip angle. So the nose tip relative to the Frankfurt plane. Facial depth height ratio. So yeah, I mean, dude, even with the bad photo, K Shami scored pretty good here. I mean, just look at how many 10s he got on the side. On the front, he got less 10s, but he got a lot more things that were just, like, important that were good, if that makes sense. He messed up some important things over here, like gonial angle he misses, which is a very key trait. But yeah, I mean, overall, really, really, really strong harmony, as you can see. I mean, yeah, better than 99.9% of people. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I mean, let me know who you want me to rate next. I have some more videos planned. So, yeah, if you're going to use FaceIQ Labs, make sure to use code HAPPYSNAIL for 20% off. It's a really good opportunity to, you know, get a good face rating, and maybe for yourself, maybe for a friend, maybe you want to learn some stuff and get a discount on it. So yeah, link is going to be in the bio, FaceIQ Labs. Shout out to my buddy FaceIQ, and yeah, thank you for watching.
I be staring left, but tonight it feels right. Don't need internet, please turn off the Wi-Fi. Right hand on the steering wheel, my other on your thigh. Open up the door for you, I like how you let me be a guy.